Hello everybody, and welcome to a standard video here on the channel. Today we are going to be playing through a couple of ranked best of one matches with a Temur Reclamation list that is copy and pasted from the Mythic Invitational. It is the list that Gabriel Nassif was using, and I've been running it a little bit and having a blast, so I just wanted to share it with all of you. I'm going to start off with a deck tech, but before I do, I want to remind you that if you enjoy the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to get updates for whenever I post new content. If you do enjoy standard content, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below, and if you have any questions, also be sure to leave a comment. Okay, so going through the deck, what is the deck trying to do? It is going to use Wilderness Reclamation to get a huge amount of extra mana by going to end step, tapping all my lands, untapping them all, tapping them again, and using that to cast massive explosions. Expansion also has some nice utility in the deck. It can also use Chemist's Insight on the end step, so you can cast it on your main phase, untap your lands, cast Chemist's Insight again. Niv Mizzet is another win condition, especially good against mono blue. Search for his Cantic can get you some good value. For interaction, we have some Shivan Fires. These are good against mono red. It can even kill bigger creatures from mono white. Syncopates for some counters magic. Also Sinister Sabotage. Fiery Cannonades for some sweepers. This is going to be best of one because that's what the deck was built for, so I just want to run it in its natural environment. Growth Spiral for some nice ramp. It works really nicely to get turn 3 Reclamation sometimes. A couple of opts. Then there is a sideboard because sometimes your opponent will cast Mastermind's Acquisition and you can copy it with expansion. So in the sideboard we just got some goodies, some Spell Pierce, Negate, Naturalize. Clear the Mind, Devious Cover-Up, Patient Rebuilding, Ral, another Niv Mizzet, Immortal Sun, and Nezahal. So just some general stuff in the sideboard. That is going to do it for the deck tech. Let's get into some best of one games. Hello everybody and welcome to the first game. This is a very good hand. We have turn 3 Wilderness Reclamation all set up. We are on the draw, which is a little bit annoying, and we are against mono red. Mono red's not an unwinnable matchup by any stretch of the imagination. We definitely have some play against the deck. That being said, we do hope to draw some Shivan Fires, some counter spells. This is overall not the greatest start for us against mono red. So we're going to play... One of the tricks you need to know with the deck is which land to play on turn 2, because if you Growth Spiral into a Shivan Fire, you want to be able to cast it. In this case, because I have a Breeding Pool, which is an island and a forest, both of these lands are going to come in untapped, or I could get the mountain. Wow, opponent's BMing me. I'm going to mute him. I could play Sulfur. So here I'm just going to play Sulfur Falls, and then end the turn. Other thing that I want to be able to do is to potentially, if my opponent goes for a burn spell to the face, I want to be able to expansion it to kill his Steamkin. So yeah. Okay, so that is just a nice trick to use. Killing the Steamkin is pretty important there. So we're going to cast Growth Spiral first here. Hope to draw. Okay. A Shivan Fire or something, but unfortunately it did not work out. Luckily, though, we did get rid of a lot of his pressure, so if we can find a couple of removal spells, we can maybe get this done. We're probably dead next turn, though. Shivan Fire, not the removal spell we were hoping for. So we're going to Chemist's Insight, I guess. Yeah, despite our shenanigans, maybe it would have been better to just let the shock resolve and not kill his runaway Steamkin, but I can't see myself winning that game. So I was just going to hope to draw a little bit more useful things. Just going to kill the Firebrand and hope for the best here. The game's probably over. Yeah, that's a GG. Well, mono red is your worst matchup, but that's just a little bit of a demo on some of the cool things you can do. And we'll be back with the next round in a moment, hopefully for a better matchup. Hello and welcome to round 2. Before I do look at this hand, I do want to mention that last round, if we'd been on the play, it would have been a pretty different game too. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. On the draw against mono red is pretty tricky. This is another pretty good hand. We have a turn 2 growth spiral. We're going to keep it. We also have turn 1 opt. We will shock ourselves here. Unfortunate. Looks like another mono red opponent. We helped him out a little bit with that shock, but I think opting turn 1 is still pretty useful. We can find stuff that's relevant for the matchup. Land, probably not what we want. We could draw land anyway, and yeah, okay. Perfect. We can now do that trick I mentioned earlier. Growth Spiral, put the Sulfur Falls into play, and Shivan Fire. We'll take the hit from the Fanatical Firebrand. Perfect. We'll save our Syncopate for next turn. Well, that's really good. In that case, I'll just get this into play without hurting myself, and then I'll have more than enough mana to do everything I need here. Hold full control. You do have to hold full control a decent amount with this deck. We're going to pay red to Shivan Fire that thing. And if we can survive long enough to get the Niv Mizzet down, then we can win this game. I'm a little bit doubtful that that's going to work out, but because they do have 5 cards in hand, but they could have a decent amount of land. Sure. We really hope to draw like a Chemist's Insight or a removal spell here. Perfect. Okay. So we will set a stop, play Chemist's Insight. And pass the turn. We can Explosion for 1 to kill Fanatical Firebrand. But that's probably worse than just flat playing Chemist's Insight. Or copying something with expansion. Okay. He's going to eat my Chemist's Insight. I'm fine with that. Oh, he's opting. No, he's eating the Chemist's Insight. So here we're going to cast Chemist's Insight. Yeah, we have to let that resolve, I think. And then we can maybe cast a decently sized NicolaiBolas. I mean, like, get some extra card draw off of it, kill all his creatures. Okay, that's perfect. Yes, thank goodness. So we have blue, 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 red, red, red. Perfect. So we're going to stop on end step, hold full control. We're going to cast Chemist's Insight on end step and copy it with Expansion Explosion. Yes! Our opponent concedes. We were going to cast Chemist's Insight, copy with Expansion Explosion, which was going to draw us 6 cards total, which is going to go ping, 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 ping. Because we draw an extra card from casting instance. So we were going to get him to 17, kill his board. We were going to be at 12, and then next turn we were going to have 6 more cards in hand, probably going to win that game. Anyway, that's a pretty cool example of what you can do, even in the mono red matchup when we were on the play that game. and it worked out much better for us. I hope you stay with me for another round. Hopefully we face a different matchup. Hello, and welcome to a third round here. This is a pretty nice hand as well. Another turn 3 Wilderness Reclamation. We have been getting pretty good results with that. Hopefully this is a different matchup. Oh, cool. We get to play against Esper Control, show off a bit of a different matchup. This should be, in theory, a pretty decent matchup for us. We have a search for Azcanta, which can be tricky for them. Maybe just, oh, it's mono white. Okay, this is a kind of hard matchup sometimes, but we do have turn 3. We're gonna cast the Gross Brow now because of the Tithe Taker, obviously, and play this land tapped. It can be tricky, but we do have Fiery Cannonade, which can help a little bit. And he is off to a slow start, which is really good for me. Like, really, really good. Whoa. Maybe it's a bit of a brew here in silver. Oh. Well, now we don't really want to play our Wilderness Reclamation, I will say. So I kind of am inclined to go land, search for Azcanta to bait out this guy, because we'll just let the search die to this. And also there's a very slow play if he does want to kill the search. And then get Growth Spiral and opt-in. I might not have the right colors, because I only have double blue. No, Growth Spiral and Opt should work. No, it doesn't. I can't play all 3. Well then, we'll just get the Wilderness Reclamation in and Chemist's Insight, I guess. That's a pretty good use of our mana too. Because now he's pretty much forced to do that, and we can Shiv and Fire it or something like that. Dang, if only we'd had another blue. Could have done some cool things. But him only adding 1 power to the board is really good. And now we can Shiv and Fire this kicked, get back our Wilderness Reclamation, and hold up a counter magic. Yeah. We'll pass. We want to be able to hold up a counter spell. It looks like he's not just playing blue-white. He's got some spice. Ooh. +1/+1 for each creature. Yeah, it's just a 2-mana 2/2 at this point. We can let that resolve. We can cast the Chemist's Insight right now. Oh, yeah, that's getting countered. We'll graveyard a land, even though we do want another blue source at some point. We want to be able to flip this search soon. Okay, so let's start off with an opt. Ooh. That's good. So we will play Wilderness Reclamation. We'll play this land tapped. Getting to double Wilderness Reclamation is really good. Resolve the first one. Red. Blue. Red. Red. Let's cast this. Discard our search. It's going to be a bit too slow here. We will want to try and get another land into play. Hopefully we can get a blue. Okay. So next turn we'll have a lot of mana, but here we'll just hold up another counter spell. Unfortunately, we still only have 2 blue. Maybe we should have kept that Steam Vents. Keep played it untapped. You'd think he'd go for extra creatures. What is he playing around by not attacking with Tithe-Taker? Okay, well, Chemist's Insight. That is not good tapping. Okay. Let's just kill both of his guys. So we have, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, oh, we don't even have enough mana to cast this Niv Mizzet. That's really sad. Okay. We're gonna flashback Chemist's Insight. Get rid of this Rootbound Crag. We just need blue mana. There we go. Next to combat. I'm not going to walk into a counter magic spell because I'm so in command of this game. I'm just going to fire cannonade him. Perfect. Actually, I have end turn. Let's see. I could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 17 mana. So I could have done 13 to him. So not quite lethal. I probably would have just waited for the following turn where I could have just killed him and just held up my counterspell that turn. But yeah, that was pretty nice display of what the deck can do, and we'll be back for one final round after this. Hello and welcome to the final round here. We have a decent hand. We're going to keep it. We have turn 2 Search for Iskanta, which can help smooth our draw out. Against certain matchups this is going to be rough, but okay, so against mono red. Okay. Getting Search down early just so we can find our relevant spells. And then we'll just start holding up expansions to copy his burn spells. Because on turn 2, they're probably going to play like a Runaway Steamkin or Pyromancer anyway. Graveyard that. That was a good draw. Actually, we can Shivan Fire and expansion our own Shivan Fire. Yeah, that's good. We just want to keep the board empty. Okay. Graveyard. And now we can expansion his burn spells. We're almost at flipping. Not really, but yeah, no thank you. We're not going to let that happen. We'll take a Shivan Fire. We could have flipped that. Maybe that was a mistake. But I think Shivan Fire is good enough that it's worth keeping. We have to graveyard that. think. Okay, so he only has one card in hand, so we actually could just win this game, depending on what that last card is. We'll let him draw 3, I guess. Okay, hopefully we can find a kill spell. No. Oh man, we lose. Shoot. Oh, no, dang. That doesn't do anything. So, yeah, we have to counter that. I definitely do not see us winning this game. Gotta be said. Oh, man. Rats. Rats, rats, rats. Well, that is the deck. It does have, funny, April Fool's Day thing. It does have some rough matchups. Mono red in particular is not the greatest, but it does pretty well against everything else, and it can be tuned a little bit more to beat mono red. I assume that, I mean, Gabriel Nassif did pretty well with this deck at the Mythic Invitational, so it does have decent game against mono red, especially if you're on the play and you can get an early Wilderness Reclamation. Anyway, that is going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys next time.